The committee traveled to Western Uganda. We went to Kabale and Tugam. Right, Honorable Speaker, we traveled together with Honorable Lily from Karamoja on the 1st of December. Right, Honorable Speaker, is Honorable Member to see that Honorable Lily last participated on the 30th of last month. Yet on the 1st of this month, we were together with Honorable Lily in Kabale. Is in order.
The one of this house. The position I was mistaking is the one you took on the 29th November. The records of the house show that Honorable Adong is in the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary. That's what is here. On the answer. I don't know what else wants to do. That's where she is.
And it's the reason I was saying that the ruling was taken out of...
You cannot debate the speaker's ruling here. On a level of opposition, you cannot debate the speaker's ruling here. You know that?
So much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I'm in possession of a High Court document which I intend to lay in this table on this procedural matter I'm seeking between Alex Waiswa Mufubiro and the Parliamentary Commission. There is a notice of motion where this Parliament was dragged to court by Mr. Mufubiro. And in that, they were challenging. Hey, can we have one food at a time? The Parliamentary Commission was dragged to court on miscellaneous clause number 315 of 2017, where Parliament is fully informed and the clerk to Parliament, Jane L. Kibirije, swore an affidavit, and in the pleadings, Mr. Mufumbiro is challenging a manner in which MPs were thrown out of this house. Is challenging all the proceedings on the 27th day of September 2017 when Mr. Magezi was given leave, and specifically if I will read paragraph J and K. And Parliament has consented. Parliament has consented, and the hearing notice, there is a consent by Parliament, and they have scheduled the 7th day of Feb at 9:30 the day for hearing. But of interest, members, let me read J and K. A declaration that all businesses of Parliament and all the motions passed on the 27th day.
Honorable, do you have a judgment? No, do you have a judgment? Do you have a judgment on that issue?
Madam Speaker, can I? Madam Speaker, this is in relation to Rule 72. This is in relation to Rule 72 of the procedure. And I would ask you to pass the ruling whether this matter is not subject. We need your guidance whether this matter is not subject, because Parliament, under Rule 72, we need your guidance. guidance, your opinion, whether this matter is not subject, because we have been dragged in court, and specifically they are saying all the proceedings of the 27th day of September 2017 were passed illegally, and the matter is active, and Parliament, and the clerk of Parliament has sworn affidavit.
Where is the injunction stopping this house from working?
Madam Speaker, under Rule 72,
Please take your seat.
Madam Speaker,
Please take your seat, Honourable Member. Take your seat. No.
Is it recording? Yeah. Oh. Actually, when I saw,
I still want to speak to you, Right Honourable Speaker. In regard to the suspension of the members who have just been suspended when you had adjourned the House. Right Honourable Speaker, you suspended the House and told us to resume at 2. To that Right Honourable Speaker, I believed that the House had been suspended and therefore no other matter was supposed to be had thereafter. You acted functus official, Right Honourable Speaker, by suspending the members whom you named and immediately suspended after suspending the House. May I request that you rescind your decision, Right Honourable Speaker? And have these members called back.
yeah,
For purposes, may I request, it's a request to you, Right Honourable Speaker,
this is your bit.
that you suspend you rescind your decision, call these members back, and possibly you suspend them officially when the House is not adjourned, if there is need for them to be suspended. Right Honourable Speaker, I wouldn't want us to go into the happenings of the 27th, where people will think that we are going to suspend members until all those who are against the lifting of the age limit are all moved out of the House. We can't suspend members, Right Honourable Speaker. Point of order.
Right Honourable Speaker, the Leader of Opposition has moved to challenge your decisions on each and every point you have ruled on. Rule 86.2 is explicit and I read it. The decision of the Speaker or Chairperson on any point shall not be open to appeal and shall not be reviewed by the House except upon a substantive motion made after notice. The Leader of Opposition has neither given notice for a motion to formally challenge your ruling, and she continues to submit, flip-flopping from one point to another as if this House has no rules to guide it. Is she not that?
disobedience to the rules of the House. The rules of opposition. Honourable members, you witnessed the unruly conduct of the members who have suspended. And it went on for a long time. And I warned them. I have suspended them. The words I used, I said, in the meantime, these are suspended. That's the word I used. Got the answer. They are suspended and remain suspended. They remain suspended.
Madam Speaker, we are on observation, recommendation, and conclusions, and I'm seeking indulgence that the detailed report, the answer should be captured as I read the abridged one. And I was the effect that the amendment on other constitutional provisions, if any, the stakeholders' views on the proposed amendments and analysis of the proposed amendment. On clause 1 of the bill, clause 1 of the bill seeks to amend Article 61 of the Constitution by substituting for clause 2 the following. Clause 2. The Electoral Commission shall hold presidential, general, parliamentary, and local government council elections within first 30 days of the last 120 days before the expiration of the term of the office of the president. The current constitutional provision, Article 61(2) of the Constitution, reads as follows. The Electoral Commission shall hold presidential, general, parliamentary, local government council elections within first 30 days of the last 90 days before the expiration of the term of the office of the president. Analysis of the views received. Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I am not challenging your ruling, but I'm just raising a procedural issue which I want to be educated on and I understand. Madam Speaker, under our rules, there is a place which we call a code of conduct for members of parliament. Madam Speaker, the most interesting one, it is Code of Conduct, Appendix F, 234. It is part of our rules. Page 234. Madam Speaker, under 3, first of all, under 2, it says, by virtue of the oath of allegiance taken by members, members have a duty to be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Uganda and to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and to uphold the law and act on all occasions in accordance with the public trust placed in them. Now, I go to 3. Madam Speaker, if you listen, you'll understand. I am the one that have given the microphone. Madam Speaker, members of Parliament are supposed to be accountable, open, honest, and show leadership. Now, Madam Speaker, you ruled that our colleague, Akelo Rose Dili, was a member of legal and a parliamentary.
That's a done deal.
You must learn to listen. Madam Speaker, on 10th of August 2017, on 10th August 2017, there was a meeting which was chaired by Honorable Nabakoba Judith as the presiding officer. And the members present, one of them was a completely crossing governor. Madam Speaker, the question, one of the questions to deal with that one first. How did the Akampulira crossing Babazi know that she should be a member of the defense and whatever and internal affairs before being elected? And she continued. Madam Speaker, it clearly shows that this lady must have been designated as a member, honorable member. Madam Speaker, on 19th, I just picked a few copies. On 19th of September 2017, under the leadership again of Honorable Gilles Nabakova, in this meeting with the Minister for Education on the Learners Project, the same members, including Akelo Rusi Lidi, was present. I want to make a case first. On 21st November 2017, under the leadership of Nabakova, Akelo Rusi was present. On 27th November 2017, again, Akelo Rusi was present. Madam Speaker, this cannot be an accident. It cannot be an accident. It cannot be a metal case.
Honorable Member, I informed the House that on the 29th, after the 28th, and after September, and after August, this House, after the designation of those members, after those dates, here, moved to that the committee of here.
Madam Speaker, what I'm saying is true. On 29th, the House designated. But in this case, where members are on that certain committee, it should have been received the designation. Why? This is the designation. The justification for that, Madam Speaker, is that you cannot designate a member in the same session twice in two different social committees without withdrawing that member from that committee. And Madam Chair, you are the owner of the two. You are still in the new. Madam, you should first have advised the government if we that once we withdraw those members, then we can do it.
Honourable members, if you are dissatisfied with the decision of this House of 29th November, you should have filed a notice to review the situation. You did not.
Madam Speaker, that's the order of I know you want to do something. You are hungry to do something. And I want to tell you this as I go sit down. In the Bible, yes, in the Bible,
Honourable member, if the House was dissatisfied with the designation, 29th November, we are now almost 3 months later. You should have filed a notice that about the situation that were taken by this House and about to take the decision of the House.
okay, Madam Speaker, I'm going to file a notice. Madam Speaker, we were on analysis of the views received, and for the record,
don't in any way intend to challenge your ruling, right, Honorable Speaker. However, I would like to invite my dear colleagues from all aisles of this House to reflect and read Rule 201. And clearly, Madam Speaker, I'm not challenging the issue of blame, but the issue of debate. Madam Speaker,
Who is debating?
Madam Speaker, I would like to go into this
Yes,
because
but remember,
Madam
the report has not been presented, no one has debated.
Madam Speaker, we've been talking about the procedural matters that have led to the laying of this report on table. And if we all accept to give chance for everyone to speak, it will help us. If someone doesn't have anything to speak, much the better. Madam Speaker, I call honorable members to read Rule 201, Sub-Rule 2, that clearly states that debate on a report of the Committee on the Bill shall take place at least 3 days after. Whereas we all know, I know this because the legality of the question of debate shall now emanate on as to whether the report was well laid or not. Madam Speaker, before you rule, the Honorable Deputy Attorney General rose up and maybe having realized that there is a fault somewhere, he clearly said that he would seek at least suspension. I can see a fault in law, not in fact, for the description of what the Honorable Sawanyana was calling the table. Previous precedents, Madam Speaker, are clear that you've told the honorable members that whatsoever you state lay on table here before you and before this House. And now, if the precedent that we are setting is upload on the iPad, then it will be very unfortunate.
Honorable member, allow the member to present and lay his report. Yes. No, please. No.
The committee observes that the proposal expands the term within which presidential, local government, and the general parliamentary election are held from the last 90 days of the last 130 days.
I will call you, please. Wait, sit first. I'll call you.
No. Of the last 120 days is welcome and should be supported.
I'll call you.
The committee, Madam Speaker, notes that expanding the number of days will ensure elections are held early enough and not at the end of the presidential term. The holding of elections early enough will enable other legal and procedural processes to take place before the expiry of the presidential term. The committee recognizes that
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for allowing me to raise this point. You have made a ruling before in terms of Rule 201 that the uploading of this report together with our minority report on the IP constituted laying on table. I'm now rising on a point of order and to be guided by yourself. Whether the honourable member that is in order to proceed to read a report that has already been laid.
Honourable members, what is laid, it is also laid. You know that? Yes.
That one, my friend. That one. The one who reached. The one who reached.
Madam Speaker, the committee recognizes that the determination of when elections are held
There's the one who almost reached that Kerutan and all of them.
Okay, Honourable Chair, allow Honourable.
That's one. That one was almost finished. But
I'm raising a matter which is very simple and small, but I'm making a very pertinent pleading with the House through you. The Right Honourable Speaker, we are debating a very important matter. Honourable Speaker, I'm pleading with you that this report which is going to be tabled to the House today, we have been sent here to receive this report on behalf of the people who are sent here. And I'm pleading with you personally, Right Honourable Speaker, to allow the people who have been suspended to come and participate on behalf of the people. Right Honourable Speaker, it is important that they participate as we have forgiven the two ladies who sat in the committee illegally. We should also allow these people to participate. We have allowed the two ladies to be excused. Why can't we allow our own brother also to participate? Really, in that spirit of unity, we are all Ugandans, we are all sent here in our delegated capacity. We cannot shut up.
At the end of the day,
We are pleading with you. There are people who want to paint the image of this parliament badly. You want to make it appear as if it is the speaker or any other person who has shut down these people. So really, right now, Speaker, I'm pleading with you in the same way.
Honorable Speaker, I make reference to Rule 86 with respect to the decision of the Speaker. The Right Honorable Speaker, you made a ruling. You named and suspended members. The rule clearly says that when a Speaker makes a decision to reopen the matter, you need to bring a substantive motion. Is it in order for a honorable member, a senior legislator, to come and start reopening a matter without going for a substantive motion? Well aware of the rule. Thank you.
Honourable members, the member is out of order. In my opening remarks this morning, I asked members to tolerate each other, to listen even if they don't agree, to debate. And I warn that members who were suspended, if they misconduct themselves again, will now go for 7 sittings. I warned everybody. I said, you are in danger of your right to speak and your right to vote. That's what I told them. Yes.
Madam Speaker,
I think you should have pleaded with them when they were misbehaving here. You should have pleaded with them, you, as a senior member of the opposition. No, they didn't listen to you. So, Honorable God, no, Honorable God, you cannot review my ruling. No, Honorable God, I will not review my ruling. Please take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat.
Madam Speaker,
I think you are playing to the gallery. You are playing to the gallery. Take your seat.
Madam Speaker, if I may continue, the term of the President is set at 5 years in Article 105 of the Constitution and cannot be extended except through amendment of the Constitution. The committee observed that after presidential election, the Constitution allows certain processes to take place. These processes, which must be completed before the expiry of the presidential term, include counting and declaring results, holding a rerun in case none of the candidates obtains the highest number of votes, challenging a presidential election, court determination of a petition challenging a presidential election, and holding fresh presidential elections in case court nullifies presidential election. In determining the adequacy of the amendment to clause 1 of the bill, the committee considered the processes that have to be complied with after presidential election, but before the expiry of the presidential term. The committee noted that there is a link between the time within which presidential elections are held and the time within which other processes pertaining to those elections can take place. The committee observed that Article 61 of the Constitution
Speaker, I heard it very well, and he clearly talks about behavior in this House. We are all here to adhere to these rules to the letter, cross the T's and dot the I's. Right Honourable Speaker, it's very clear that when a member has finished speaking, they must resume their seats. Right Honourable Speaker, you can see how members are standing on that side, including on this floor. It is a point of order because, like Honourable Speaker, you've told us to continue speaking for as long as we've concluded our speeches. I'm rising up on a point of order as to whether it's in order for the Honourable Frank Fuwemase, Honourable Macho, Honourable Mugoya, Honourable Wakasara, and many others, as you can see, continue to defy the orders in this House. All members here are very orderly.
Other members, they are standing on their chairs.
They are easy ones. They are not supposed to stand. To stand when after debating, they must go and resume their seats. So, the opposition has raised that issue. Is replying, they are standing on their chair.
Articles 1035 and 104, 2, 3, and 6 of the Constitution. This is so because the duration within which elections are held determines the duration within which other processes arising from those elections can be carried out. The relevant articles are reproduced in the main report, and I implore members to refer to it. The committee noted with concern that the above processes, which are carried out independent of each other, require a minimum of 122 days to be complied with. Yet the Constitution requires elections to be carried out 90 days before the end of the term of the President. The committee observed that if all the above processes are to be carried out, the time currently prescribed in the Constitution will be insufficient and an additional 32 days will be required. The committee therefore agreed that the above timelines are unrealistic and need to be enhanced to ensure that elections are carried out early enough so as to allow other processes to take place before the term of election of the President expires.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Speaker, I'm raising on a matter of procedure. You rightly put it, Right Honourable Speaker, that I'm an officer of this House and therefore should not be seen to violate the rules of this House. Right Honourable Speaker, I wouldn't want to see members of this House violating the rules of the House. To the extent that members of this House can stand on their chairs and be tolerated in this House, would it be procedurally correct, Right Honorable Speaker. And Right Honorable Speaker, I'm seeing the level of intolerance in this House. The level of intolerance is so strange. The level of intolerance is so strange to the extent that members have reached and degenerated to a level of even standing on their chairs as they are anticipating to make their submissions. I still believe, Right Honorable Speaker, that we are not proceeding well. I therefore would like to appeal to members who feel like I do, that we are violating rules unnecessarily, that we first move out and consult. At an appropriate time, we can come in and let you understand the outcome of our consultation. May I request that those who believe like I do, we first move out. We go and consult. That does not require a motion. I can move alone.
We're going out. Again, doing like this one. Again.
Standing there, doing their things, some problem to the leader of opposition. Please. Let's continue. Let's continue.
When they are sitting, they are mixing. Who's the man? Oh, you have independent. You have independent. Say the opposition side. That's the trick of this guy. It's better even the problem even if it is failed and you make a noise, they will be suspended. And when they are suspended, that means the game is serious group. So it's better maybe they get out, they go and make their report.
Even when this house is sitting down,
this is 1 gigabyte now.
Because of the recognition that we give to the executive and the recognition we give to the shadow executive. It has always been the tradition of Parliament. Even when we suspend sitting according to rules, that the front bench is reserved for the ministers on the right hand of the Speaker, and the front bench is reserved for the shadow ministers on the left hand of the Speaker. I would like that at least, if it is a question of sitting, that the front bench reserved for the shadow ministers
Okay, see, inside also. So you can have. Yeah. Representative here from soldiers. Yeah.
and make his appeal. But if members think
So that is the ruling part.
that it is not working, it is fine. But I make my appeal.
Veteran Speaker, the honorable member raising the issue of sitting arrangement